That we all had a beginning. We all came into this world. We were born. Somehow, somewhere, God put the soul into each of us, an eternal spirit. And at some point, the physical body will cease functioning. But the spirit will go on. And in Jesus Christ, we have that promise that the spirit will go on to be with God. Never to have any ending. Mr. Golden says, "By darkest night will turn to day." What kind of emotionally draining event have you had happen to you in your life? It's probably not something that you would want to relive. But what is your darkest night? Mr. Golden suggests that when we are in the presence of God, the darkest night that we've experienced here on earth will be engulfed in the rays of God's light, God's love. I think he's saying in different words the same thing that John writes here in Revelation 21 and verse 4, where in heaven he will wipe away every tear from our eyes. And death will be no more. There will be no mourning and no crying or no pain anymore, because the former things that are associated with our physical lives will be gone. They will no longer exist in the Christian's Canaan's land. Here's another idea that's particularly appropriate with us getting close to Valentine's Day, and many of you ladies probably will get roses on Thursday. Mr. Golden says, there is a rose blooming there for me. And one of the things I like about preaching these kind of songs is that I have to stop and ask myself, what is the author trying to convey with these words? Can you imagine, can you picture Jesus walking up to you, ladies in particular, I guess it would apply to men too, and handing you personally a rose. And you know that even as he hands you that rose, that he's not doing it like a politician is. He's giving one to everybody. He is giving one to everybody in his presence, but it's very personal. He's handing you the rose because he wants you to have your own. And the passage that came to my mind is John chapter 14, where Jesus says, "My Father has a house with many mansions, and I'm going to prepare a place," notice, "for you." For you. A mansion in heaven that makes the Taj Mahal on earth pale in comparison. And Jesus says, you have a room there, specially designed for you. That's the image that comes to my mind when I think of a rose there for me, where I will spend eternity. Someplace personal. Someplace unique for me. Another imagery I think comes from lighthouses. Sister Phyllis Ross loves lighthouses. A love light beams across the foam, and it shines to light the shores of home. What is it that we fear the most about death? Is it leaving friends behind? Family? Is it a picture of darkness that we picture? Is it wondering what's going to await us on the other side? Now, in the story of the rich man and Lazarus, Jesus points out that it's an angel who is waiting on the other side, who takes Lazarus and leads him into the bosom of Abraham. Here, Mr. Golden pictures a lighthouse as beaming its light across the foams of death, lighting the way. And it may very well be that an angel is waiting there on the other side to take us by the hand. Because if there's anything God doesn't want us to fear, it is death. And that's why Jesus came to get me. Another idea is my life will end in deathless sleep. We go to sleep every night. We lay our head down on our pillow. We put our hands under our head, maybe, or between our knees. And we close our eyes. And our body rests. God designed us that way. He designed our physical body so that we need rest periodically. He also designed our bodies to enter into this deathless sleep. This physical body here is not designed to be in God's presence. We are designed to shed off what Paul calls, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, our tent, our earthly tent. We're designed to leave that tent. And at some point, we'll close our eyes for the last time here on earth. And the next time we open them, we'll see God the Father, Jesus the Son, the Holy Spirit, maybe Moses, and Elijah, and David, and Peter, and Paul. And not to leave out any of the women, maybe Eve, and maybe Sarah, and Rebecca, and maybe Hannah, maybe Leah. To enter into this eternal joy that awaits us on the other side of our final time of rest. And so Mr. Golden says, to that fair land, we're on our way where there will be no parting hand. Is one of the things that we fear about death is that we won't get to see our husband or our wife or our children or our parents or our friends again. Is that what we fear? Look what awaits us. Maybe your mom or dad has already passed away and maybe they're in paradise waiting. And you look forward to seeing them again. Maybe grandparents. Not to mix secular songs necessarily with spiritual songs, but there was a secular song that came to my mind. It was a song from Brother Bear, written by Phil Collins. And this is just two of the verses, but listen to how he pictures this gathering together, and I think it adequately describes a reunion that we will have in heaven. Tell everybody I'm on my way. New friends and new places to see. Have we ever met Moses and Elijah? No. But they're waiting there for us. With blue skies ahead, yes, I'm on my way, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Does that describe your attitude towards heaven? There's nowhere else I'd rather be. There was a dude that came out several years ago starring Warren Beatty. He was I believe, a quarterback for a football team that was going to play in the Super Bowl. And he got killed and he was in heaven, and the whole movie revolves around how is he going to get back to earth to play in the Super Bowl, because after all, if you got the chance to play in the Super Bowl, heaven can wait. Is that how you want to feel about heaven? We read about the beautiful descriptions of heaven in the Bible, the idea will be in God's presence, Holy Spirit's presence, Christ's presence, all the faithful in the Old and New Testament, and we're like, that sounds all well and good, but I don't want to turn loose of earth yet. Look what's waiting for us on the other side. Phil Collins' song goes on to saying, because there's nothing like seeing each other again, no matter what the distance between. And the stories that we tell will make you smile. It really lifts my heart. And if he can write those words about being reunited with friends here on earth, imagine what great joy it will bring to us, and truly our darkest night will turn into day when we are in heaven itself, in the presence of God. And so the song says about friends, in heaven there will be no sad farewells, no tear-dimmed eyes. Here on earth, yes, for a brief period of time. But if our spouse is a Christian, if our children are Christians, if our families are Christians, then we're all going to be together again one day. And then we'll never have to say goodbye. Because in heaven, all is peace. In heaven, all is joy. and Savior. To Canaan's land, we're on our way. In Joshua chapter 1, Joshua is on the verge of bringing the Israelites into the promised land, Canaan's land. And Joshua says, God tells Joshua in verse 7 of Joshua chapter 1, only be strong and very courageous, and be careful to do according to all of the law of Moses. My servants, do not turn to the left, to the right, so that you may have success wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night. If we want to get into the promised land, if we want to enter into Canaan's land, if we want to enjoy the images that we see here Mr. Golden has provided for us, then we've got to be strong. We've got to be courageous. And we've got to do all that Jesus has commanded us and meditate on His Word day and night.